a schema is something that your brain does. It takes a past experience and creates a template for future experiences. We do that from everything with ordering food at a restaurant, to checking into a hotel, to working through a problem with a friend, to moving into a new place and setting up your stuff. It's a schema every time. You have different schemas for different situations. With traumatic experiences, you actually end up getting those schemas really firmly wired into your brain, into your mind, because if I remember this really clearly, I can prevent it from happening again. Our brains want to remember the things that were really difficult, the hard things, the scary things, so that we can actually avoid them in the future. So when we're using that approach, we're not even sure or aware that we're doing it. We're using schemas without awareness, and we're transposing it onto the current situation. And based on what we've experienced before, we think this is how it's going to go again. When we have an experience in real time that is similar to a schema we've built based on trauma, we're going to end up having responses that are as if it's from the trauma. And that can look like literal chemical and electrical signals going up and down your spine throughout your entire body saying, this is traumatic, this is scary, you need to respond, right? Protect yourself. And what's hard is for a lot of people who have had traumatic experiences, it actually ends up feeling unsafe for them to stay in constant connection with what's happening in their body. So they end up doing what we call like a bifurcation. You like cut yourself off where you can stay really cognitively aware. You can analyze the situation, you can speak about it, you can be really eloquent. But do you know what your gut feels like? Do you know what happened to your heart? What's your breathing like? Some of that stuff, we cut it out of our awareness so that we don't have to recognize that we're actually feeling panicked, right? If we're going to heal from that trauma, we have to realize that, again, we've done something adaptive, cutting ourselves off from feeling the feelings that might have been related to something perhaps very physically painful. That's an adaptive experience, because how else would you survive? And you can't really have a full life if you're not figuring out how to reconnect your brain and your body and have them work well together. So a lot of the work that we do in trauma treatment is to help people reconnect with their bodies. Sometimes that is really uncomfortable. Like, we might ask you to do a body scan and pay attention to where you're having physical pain right now, and it might be really awful to do that. But when we can get to the place where you can identify where it's happening, you're literally rewiring and staying more aware of what's happening in your whole body. And what we know to be true is that the more aware we are, the more quickly we are to respond in a healthy way, and we can release that. It can move through us rather than it getting stuck. And I can think of specific conversations I've had with people where they are telling me, I've had this pain here, or every time I have a flashback, I have this sensation. And I know that when they've gotten to the point where they have named it, they are starting to reconnect between their brain and their body, and they're starting to gather wisdom about what would feel healing for them, rather than just trying to avoid it. And that's the reaction that you do when you are still in fight or flight, when you're still stuck in the trauma. When you're trying to figure out how to do this differently and move through it, that's where the growth is happening, to figure out how to live a full life and to trust your body again.